Hi everybody, Jimmy here. A lot of you have questions for me lately, and I'd like to answer them. As you could see, I do a lot of computer work, some very high-tech stuff, and a lot of you got questions lately about wiping software. If a hard drive fails, what do you do? Well, a friend of mine had a RAID crash. That's where two hard drives mirror each other, and the companies that recover emails or files or data, they might charge upward of $2,000 to recover the information. But a good geeky computer guy could make a donation to this company called Ubuntu, which they want a $2 donation for Linux software that could most likely read the hard drive compared to a Windows computer. It just knows how to do something differently. So if you have a Windows computer and it crashes and you're trying to recover pictures, emails, something very important, you could do it if you know a little bit of the mechanics of computers, And I normally work on some high-end stuff, and you can see all these wires and hard drives sticking out. But one of the questions that everybody asked me about computer security, say you write a letter that really is strong worded, very powerful, and you send it out, but you want to delete it to get rid of it so you don't use it again on your computer. Well, when you delete that, the letter is still there. So somebody like me, I could recover it, the government officials could recover it. It never goes away until you write over it again. So all these pictures that you think deleted, all that Windows does or an Apple operating system does is tells the computer that wherever that was put on the hard drive, you could go back and write over it because there's nothing important there. But until something is written over that, you could always go back and retrieve it from a hard drive. Now, what happens is that some people that worry about computer security, like myself, there's companies that sell scrubbing software. So what it does is that it'll go to the hard drive, and wherever there's free space that you could write over something new, but you might have something that you don't want anybody to see, you run the scrubbing software, and wherever there's a free space, you can tell it to go write zeros. Everything in computers works on binary, 1 and a 0. So what they do is they write over the drive. It might take hours to do it, but this is good for security, that a hard drive, if somebody robbed your computer, that you wouldn't want them to get anything. Just like I was at one of these computer geek shows, the guys with all the pens in the pocket and everything, and you could always buy some hard drives that are too small and everything. And I picked up this hard drive, and I always wonder what somebody leaves on it. I mean, I know people that when they take their camera and they hook it up to the computer, they don't know where the pictures go. And that's why I'm saying the pictures are always there. You just got to know where to look for it. So I found this drive. I found a few drives. And sometimes just for goof, I go and see. Let's see. This one they'll happen to have a name on it. Lois Murney. That name sounds familiar. Lois Murney. I heard that name before. Well, I'm going to hook up this is still doing some stuff. It's going to take about 3 hours, so I can't hook it up. You know, Lois Lerner. Why does that name sound so familiar on this hard drive? But even under the worst case scenario, if I can't see what's on this hard drive with some of this special software that I have that hardware manufacturers and software manufacturers sell and everything, okay, there's like 3 or 4 flat dishes in there called disk. Okay, forensically, you know, they have scientists that could go in there, they'd take the screws out, they would take these platters, you know, could be 3 or 4 of them, and they have a way that they could move them into another hard drive assembly and read it. So unless you write over it, you know, with like scrubbing software, the stuff is always going to be there. Even if like the circuit board went bad on this hard drive, the real mechanics of the hard drive are very well sealed, because how it reads the hard drive, you couldn't even have lint, you know, or hair getting in there. It would cause it to go bad. So it's very well sealed. But you could do a lot of things. You could always swap the circuit board with another one. So very rarely, you know, almost never, is this stuff not recoverable. Okay, you just got to know how to do it and do it in the right sequence. Now some people believe it's like years ago when you had cassette recorders and you record a song over it. You know, there's a song, you record another song over it. Sometimes you could hear that first song. That might have been years ago, you know, with cassette players and 8-track tapes. But I don't think with digital hard drives, that's the thing. But the scrubbing software, you know, if you always want to be sure that no one could find stuff on your hard drive, you might want to invest in buying that software. But this hard drive, Lois Lerner, I'm going to have to Google that name, and as soon as this is finishing what it's doing, which is still going to take hours to do, you know, I'll hook up this hard drive and see what type of information is on it. I'll talk to you all soon now. Bye now, Jimmy.